Hello, I'm Santiago Reyes, and this is me talking about Fronterizo and Hispanic and Latino. The his the Hispanics, Mexicans, or Latinos and Fronterizo, a story of two worlds. Two worlds is an understatement because it's my whole world, honestly. Being a Hispanic, a Mexican American, and Latino. I actually fall under all those categories, and it says or, which is interesting. But I do like the term fronterizo, which I didn't know existed, that there's a term for people who live in the border. But that's very generic. It could be a white person, it could be a black person, it could be an Asian person, it could be a lot of different people. A Chinese, Canadian, American, like obviously, right? And it's such an interesting term that I didn't know really existed. And I say it's a really interesting, cool term because I identify with it. It talks about dual citizenship, which I have tried to getting, or like I've looked into it because I want to get it to make it easier to have a life here. Because I also like to visit family over there, and being a dual citizen would be great. It would help me a lot in many things that I do, and it is such a big part of my identity. It's like um it talks also about the Mexican American War, where we gain all this land, the US, we, because I live in the US, we gain all this land, and this is when we become thing. It also touches on borders, which shouldn't exist. It's such a unique culture, which for some reason I had never thought about it, and then there's just this big wall dividing it. Like it could be like the Canadian and US border, but it isn't. It's big border dividing us. There's no there should be no reason for that. And then it goes also with like the terms like Chicano, Chicana, Latinx, which I don't like because it includes, because some of these even include like people who live in Barcelona, Spain, because they're Hispanic, because they're Spanish speaking. So when people ask, "Are you Latino or Hispanic?" Technically yes, but you can also just be Spanish, which is not Mexican. Or mostly, or usually we span from below the US, from like Mexico, including the Caribbean, all the way down, except like Argentina or something, because they speak Portuguese. They don't really speak Spanish. They don't include. They're not Hispanic, they're Latino, but not Hispanic. Um, which is great. It honestly, it was such an interesting thing learning about the terms that come with me, because there are definitely terms I like to embrace and talk about and be like, oh yeah, I'm Hispanic, I'm Latino. I really like the term fronterizo, but I don't think it rolls off the tongue, maybe because I'm not used to it, but it's something, a term that should be more common, especially in the area we live in, because the area I live in, it's super diverse. I know people who live in Reynosa and come here and visit daily, attend school or whatnot, which is great. It acts like those like cross education, which is why the GDP in Mexico relies on, like, doesn't rely on, but it's like 10% because we help it. It's like these great opportunities where it's such a mix of people. There's so many people who live here that it shouldn't be divided either. It should be together. And it shows that identity is a resilient against everything that's put against us. It shows the civil rights, the wars, the blood, the family, the happy, the sad, all those moments puts him into some things like, we are here, we are staying, and you can try pushing us out, but it's impossible. We are part of this land. You came here first. They really did. And it's a way that evolutions allows for the complexity and the agency, and it's like Mexican American community is like shaping the future. We are the future. because you see more of us every single day. So, if I were to have an identity, I'd be all of the above.